Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Anna in case you didn't know, and today I'm going to be showing you how to DIY your own super cute, very cottagecore mushroom magnets. A while back I was browsing on Instagram Reels and I came across a video by the creator Hello Sammy. I will link her in the description below, and she was raving about these adorable mushroom magnets she got from Japan. I fell in love immediately, so I started Googling. I wanted mushroom magnets. Nothing was really as cute. I did eventually find some on Amazon and AliExpress, but they were like $90 or $80.
What?
Listen, don't get me wrong. I love them. I am obsessed with them. But my wallet says no. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to make these myself. If you're interested in how I made these adorable mushroom magnets, stay tuned. And if you enjoy this video, please feel free to subscribe and like and comment because I love interacting with you guys and it really does mean a lot to me. Let's get started. You're gonna need some air dry modeling clay in white, some flexible wire, some strong magnets, a pretty messy glue gun, some paint brushes, acrylic paint, and Mod Podge. With your air dry modeling clay, grab a chunk and start rolling it into a sphere. Then you're going to want to shape it into a teardrop shape, and at the larger end, start pressing it with your thumb. This creates a separation between the cap and the gills and the stem. You should have the stem sticking out a bit so that the magnet can go here. Next, grab your wire and start bending it so that it matches the underside of the mushroom a little bit more. We're pressing this in here to create the illusion of gills. But not all mushrooms have gills, so it's really up to you what you would like to do here. Then I take my nail and press along the edge of the cap so that there's some distinction. This will also make it easier to paint. Next, grab your magnets and press it into the back of the stipe. Mine was too dry already, so I just left a little impression and I'll glue it on tomorrow. I like to dry my mushrooms on a plate just because they won't stick to anything that way. On to fungi number 2. Mold the clay into a semicircle shape. This is what it should look like from the top and from the side. Make sure one side is very, very flat because that's where we're going to push the magnet into. Ensure that no clay is sticking out past the magnet, or else you're going to have a hard time sticking this to different surfaces. Then get your wire and get ready to stab. Proceed to stab many times over and over and over to create a porous surface on one side of the magnet. Then score some lines on the top. I find that this really helps add texture once you paint it. That's literally how easy this one was. For mushroom 3, we're doing the same thing we did for mushroom 1, except 3 times in different sizes. Now I go and add the gills, same as I did the first time, and attach at the bottom. This way you've got a layered mushroom similar to an oyster mushroom. Then go ahead and add the magnet. Mushroom 4 resembles a shimeji mushroom, so roll a little ball out of clay and create a dimple in it. Do this multiple times in multiple different sizes. Roll little stems and attach them to the caps. Once you're done doing this for quite a few, attach all the stems together at the base. Just be careful not to make your magnet too heavy. Now let your mushrooms dry for at least 24 hours. Okay, day 2. Set down something that you can get messy. Next, grab your glue gun, wait for it to heat up, and glue a dollop on the back of all the mushrooms you did not equip with a magnet, and press the magnet in. This seems to work just fine for keeping the magnet on. Then we're ready for the next step, so grab your paint brushes and let's get painting. You can paint these mushrooms however you like, as realistic or as funky as you want. If you are painting them realistic, I do recommend bringing up some reference images just because it'll help you know what to color where. I went for a more realistic approach, so lots of earth tones because they're my favorite. I started off with this beige and then layered with a rust brown. But honestly, don't worry if it's not perfect because nature is not perfect. No two mushrooms are alike, Some mushrooms are funky, and that is okay. It is part of their beauty. I used the cap line I made earlier for a distinction on where to paint which color. Don't worry if you make a mistake. You can dampen a paintbrush and rub that area, and this will help blend in the color. And then you can just go over it with the same color you used before, and the mistake just magically disappears. I decided to make this one a little bit darker just for some dimension. For the oyster mushroom, I went with two gray beige colors, one lighter one for the stem and a darker one for the caps. This one is a little bit more tricky because you have to get into all the nooks and crannies, which means more mistakes can happen, but if you use the water technique, you'll be fine. The shimeji mushroom is very easy to paint as well. Just paint the caps one color and the stems another and clean up any mistakes. You can also add white spots after to make it look like it's glistening. For the conch fungi, we're going to add some very pale yellow towards the edges, and then add a diluted coat of beige on the bottom. This soaks into all the pores and creates a lot of dimension. Then I added this terracotta color on the top and blended it out with a wet, clean brush. I wanted a little bit more dimension and it to be a bit darker, so I added another layer of brown and a darker brown even and blended that all out. Then for the finishing touch, I grabbed a tiny brush and added some strokes for texture on the top. Give them a couple hours to dry, then grab your Mod Podge or sealant and get sealant. Don't do it too thick or have too many clumps because they will dry a bit white. It won't stay as white casted as this, of course, but if you do too thick of a clump, it will show up. This helps protect the paint and also add a shiny glaze on the top so they look more wet and realistic. Let those dry for another 24 hours and you're done. You'll get results similar to this. And you don't just have to use them on your fridge, you can use them on shelves or desks or lamps, anything that is metal and a magnet would stick to. I'm really pleased with how they turned out, and I hope that this video was helpful for anybody else who wants to make their mushroom magnet dreams come true. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye! We're so cute, so cottagecore. I had a fluff on my lip. Frick! What? No, that doesn't make sense. Just get a wet paintbrush and rub it out.